everybody, I'm Allison with Green Goddess Plants and Seeds, and welcome to another tomato talk from the garden at the farm. So I just wanted to show you some things, show you the tomatoes. They're kind of looking a little worse for wear this late in the season, but more and more of them are finally starting to ripen, which is a good thing. So I just wanted to kind of show some of the different varieties that I got out here. Some of them are looking better than others. Some of them have more ripe on them than others, but more, like I said, more and more every day I come out here I find more that are actually starting to ripen. A lot of them got knocked over. We had a few strong winds, days with strong winds and heavy rains and in the last couple of weeks, so a lot of them just got knocked over, and we figured it was late enough in the season that we'd just leave them. We won't worry about trying to pick them up. So let's see what we got here. So we still have these here that are just about finished. There's still a few on them. Those are the Centennial Rockets. They are a very good early tomato. They're small, you know, they're too big to be a cherry tomato, but they're, I guess, a small, just a saladette type of tomato, but nice flavor. They're actually pretty good for processing as well. These ones here that I just showed you, these red cherries, these were supposed to be the gold berries, or some people call them the blue gold berries, and obviously they did not grow too true to type. I don't know what happened. I don't know if the vendor put a wrong label on something or what happened, but they are not what I was wanting or expected. And you know, they don't even have a nice flavor. They're actually kind of sour tasting. For a cherry tomato, they're definitely not sweet. They look pretty. They look like a very pretty tomato when they're starting to ripen, but they're definitely not a very sweet tomato at all. So like I said, I don't know what happened. I don't know. I do have more seed for this variety, so I don't know if I'll grow them again next year to see what happens. You know, I might just do that just to, in a way, to use up the seed and get out of my seed box. But we'll have to see. So this first row of tomatoes I got here, these were all of my yellow varieties. So I think I had one plant of the Golden Queen, and they're doing not too bad. There's some color starting to show on them. These next ones in here, these are the Dr. White Cheese, and I actually just saw this just as I came out here. There's actually one here. The first Dr. White Cheese starting to ripen. And as we go down the row, there's actually some nice, decent, big tomatoes on these. I'm kind of impressed. There's some more that are starting to turn color. And then the next variety I have on this row are the Morden Yellows. These were, I think, the first ones to actually start ripening of the yellows. Just trying to see if there's any out here that are actually ripe. I know I picked quite a few already that were starting to turn. There's a few there that are starting to turn yellow. They're a nice yellow tomato. They're probably a bit more acidic than maybe the Golden Queen, but they still have a really nice flavor. And like I said, they were early. They were, you know, like the first ones to start to ripen. This next row was supposed to be like a few cherries. There's some paste tomatoes. I've got Aria tomatoes in here. They are a paste tomato. I think their origin is Ukraine, but I actually kind of like them better than the San Marzano. There's a few in there. I do have one San Marzano in here, which is this here, which is actually, you know, producing not bad, and they actually look like they're starting to ripen. So good things to see out here. But the Arias, I think I preferred them because you could actually eat them fresh, whereas I think the San Marzanos aren't as good for fresh eating. They're basically a processing tomato. And then over here we've got this big tangled mess. These are the sweet Aperitif cherry tomatoes, and they've been ripening for a few weeks now, slowly. They have these lovely trusses of cherry tomatoes, and they are super sweet. I did a taste test there in one of my other videos, and they are definitely sweeter than the Sweet 100, so they are my favorite cherry tomato to grow. I guess if I had to only pick one cherry tomato, it would be the Sweet Aperitif. And here we have the pink Berkeley tie-dyes. This one is quite a large tomato. It looks like it's one of those fasciated blossoms that set fruit, so it's looks kind of weird and strange, but some nice big tomatoes coming on those. This variety here, these are the Ox Hearts. They are they're an old heirloom. They're pink tomato, and they're looking quite nice. I've already picked quite a few of these for the market. And then over here we have more cherry tomatoes. This is supposed to be a black cherry. Not very dark, but whatever, hey? And then I do have some Sweet 100s in here. And I'll just take a walk down to the other end here where I have some Helsing Junction Blues, and they are looking fantastic. So these are the Helsing Junction Blues, and they are looking absolutely fabulous. They're actually quite large for a cherry tomato. I've grown them before, but I don't think I've ever had them get quite that large. But they're looking good. I actually have harvested some ripe ones off of these already. And they're quite tasty. Probably not as sweet as the Sweet Aperitif, but they do have a lovely, nice flavor to them. This is probably another favorite of mine to grow. Yeah, they are very impressive to see in the garden, to have that dark color. And the other one that I have, the other dark one that I have here, I'm just going to show you in a second, is the Black Beauty. Oh my God. Right here. Look at that. They are almost completely black. I've grown them a couple years ago, and I don't think I had them that dark. And even the ones that I grew on the patio in the city garden didn't get that dark. Like, that is just phenomenal. Like, holy. And they're just loaded with fruit. Just loaded. And they're big. Nice, big, decent sized tomatoes. Like, wow. I'm so impressed with these right now. And this tangled mess here, unfortunately, are my Cherokee purples. I tried my best to get them to be supported, but they just fell over anyway. But they actually turned out not too bad. And actually, what I noticed this year is I was trying to compare them a bit with the carbon, because to me they look a lot like the carbon, and they taste a lot like the carbon. This year I actually found the Cherokee purples to have a slightly sweeter flavor than the carbons, which is unusual because I usually prefer the carbons over the Cherokee purples, but not this year apparently. But that's okay. That's okay. You know, you all gotta be open to change. We're open to new tastes and flavors. And I don't know if you can hear that roar in the background. It's Glenn. He's in the middle of his grain harvest, so he's got the auger going. And this is the carbon. I can get a good shot of that. That's the carbon tomato. It's not very dark. Like I said, to me it looks very, very similar to the Cherokee purple. But these are huge too. These are nice, big tomatoes. I have to admit, the one thing about growing tomatoes out here in the garden, in the farm, is that we get giant tomatoes. That's not necessarily a bad thing. So I do have another mystery tomato in the garden. So this one it was planted in with the Helsing Junction Blues, because that's what I thought it was, but obviously it's not. It's definitely something different. It almost looks like a black plum. to me. And it is possible for the seed to get mixed up. I do save seed, so it's not totally impossible that a stray seed got mixed in with the Helsings. But we'll pick it and we'll enjoy it and eat it. And then the last tomato I wanted to show you over here, this is called Firework. And it's actually a lovely pretty tomato. It's supposed to have speckling on it. It's probably not the best one to show, but it's the only one that I think that's decently ripe. There's some unripe ones. It has a nice flavor to it too. It's probably one of the first heirlooms that I grew. Let's see, what's this in here? Oh, there's a nice one. Let's pick that off. It's probably ready. There we go. There we go. So it's called Firework, and I use the German spelling for it because that's where it originated, was in Germany. At least the information I have says that's where it originated. So when I sell plants for this, I sell it using the German name for it. So thank you for joining me for another tomato talk. Yeah, the garden's slowly starting to finish off our experiment in market gardening. So the tomatoes are still going strong, and they probably will continue to go strong until we get a frost. So there might be a few more tomato talks yet. The ripe ones that didn't sell at the market over the weekend are currently being cooked up into some lovely, tasty tomato sauce. So that's what I do with our leftover ripe tomatoes. So anyway, I hope you're having a great day and a great weekend, and until next time, take care.